Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Making an Impact with the Zebu Nation. And today we have for you the post-season spectacular for the 2020 Major League Soccer season. And I'm going to be honest with you and say that I've actually fast-forwarded a little bit too far into the future because the season that never ended finally ended. But because it took so long, I sort of lost track of time, and we actually made that little flip over to next season. So we're not going to be able to look back at the stats the way I wanted to. But, we got some other stuff we can look at. So let's get on with that, starting with some emails. First of all, we got some Best 11. Lutweiler has been selected to our Best 11. We got a lot of different players in there now, or some more recent players. We can look at our Best 11 this way. This is interesting because it shows you some stats and stuff. We got Tran, Cabrera, Diallo is still in there at Central Defense, Salmon, Andre is in there, Piet, Vargas, Petrasso, Jackson Amell, and Kyle Laren. It's interesting that they're using the formation number 2, so that's our most dominant formation. So you can look at the ratings, and some of these guys you might recognize. Tadair, still in there on a reserve now. 7.04 rating is what he averaged for us. Only 3 goals for us as a club. Mancosu, 26 goals, riding the bench here. Jackson Amell, 101 appearances for Jackson Amell, 46 goals, 7.18 rating. Probably shouldn't have cut this guy, but we did. He's gone. He's out of here. We'll look at stuff like that later. Kyle Laren's got 37 goals and 56 appearances. That's pretty good. Goal every 2 games, basically, or less than 2 games. 1.8 games, somewhere around there. Anyway, Jeshin Vargas had 25 goals for us. I didn't realize he had that many. 4th leading scorer on this list. Petrasso with 16 goals. Piet, Andre. So, it's a pretty good Best 11. I'm happy with that. Postseason postseason awards. These are always fun. In terms of the team of the season, Thiago, of course, in goal. Pantami at left fullback. Interesting. Giguere, Bruno, Duverne, Piet, Junior Ramos, Petrasso, D'Alessandro, Jackson Amell, and Kyle Laren. That's an interesting Best 11. Junior Ramos got the player of the season next to Kyle Laren. And then Raheem Edwards with his huge season got 23% of the vote, so it's a pretty close vote. And as I predicted, Samuel Piet, goal of the season, possibly his only goal of the season, versus Philadelphia Union. What game was this? Was this our make or break, do or die game where we were going to possibly get fired? Here's Piet, just runs up into it, strikes the ball perfectly, gets the goal, the necessary goal. 3-2 victory over Philadelphia. Important game. Signing of the season, Junior Ramos for only $88,000. Young player of the season, Junior Ramos, still only 22 years old. So he had almost a clean sweep of the awards. Player of the season, signing of the season, young player of the season. Let's take a look at the stats. Top goal scorer, Kyle Laren, 20 goals. That was actually a record setter for the club. The previous record was 17, set by Kyle Laren. So as much as we want to say this guy doesn't score goals for us, he's the leading goal scorer in club history in terms of single season. So we gotta give it up to him for there. Most assists, Raheem Edwards, 11 assists. I think that was also a record for the club. Maybe we can check that out. Best pass completion, Piet, 83%. Most players of the match, Laren with 6. Most yellow cards, Piet with 10. Worst discipline, Duverne had our lone red card on the season. Let's see. End of season confidence review. The board is, they're happy with our success. 58%. Not exactly what I was hoping for. As you can see, I don't know, they're a little mediocre on a lot of stuff. Competition's 49. Club stature, this is ridiculous, 50% club stature, because we've just been voted the #1 team in North America. I don't know how they're going to be upset with club stature when we're the most prominent club in North America. Let's see if we just got that email. Maybe we don't need to look at the email. Possibly. No. All right, so let's look at the club here. 3-star reputation, national reputation. We look at USA. We look at view all clubs. Look at that. Impact, #1 over the LA Galaxy. We're now more prominent than the LA Galaxy or the Red Bulls or NYCFC. And I'm pretty sure the reason for that is because we made the Club World Championship due to being the host nation. So that's cool, I guess. It's a little bit of a backdoor, but hey, we'll take it, right? We'll take any advantage we can get. The world is now abuzz about the Montreal Impact. We're going to give all kinds of new fans from abroad and all that kind of stuff. All right. So like I said, we look at the competitions here. We can't look back at the stats the way I wanted to, but we can see Orlando City did win the championship. They beat Portland 3-1 in the Cup. So Portland, after all of that, they win the Supporters Shield, but they can't win. They cannot win the Cup. So it's interesting over here. You see, each year, 4 teams win something in Major League Soccer. You can see here, they got Portland 2020, Portland 2020, Orlando 2020, and Orlando 2020. And you might be wondering, why 4 times? What's going on here? So the first one on the list is for the Supporters Shield. So Portland won the Supporters Shield. Last year it was LA Galaxy. Then you've got the Western Conference Playoff Championship. That's Portland. Last year it was Houston. Then you got the Eastern Conference Championship, Orlando. Last year it was us. And then you got the MLS Cup Championship, which last year was us. This year, Orlando. So that's why you got 4 teams every year that look like they've won the league for some reason. But there you go. That breaks it down for you. Let's see. Anything else we can look at here? Like stats. No, we got no stats to look at. We can't look at anything. Overview. Stages. Yeah, we could look at stages. We can look at last season. You can see we did finish top of the Eastern Conference, but we didn't win the playoffs. So there's nothing we can do about that. I guess we'll go all groups. No. I thought that would show us the there's the Supporters Shield league table. So in case you missed it, we did finish 3rd in the Supporters Shield. Portland finished 1st, as I mentioned, and they're looking good. Awards, I don't think we can look at the awards. Okay, yeah, we can look at the awards. This is good. So, goalkeeper of the year, Zach Steffen from Columbus. There's Ben Dick from Orlando City. He definitely, he won the championship for these guys. There's no way around it. He kept us off the scoreboard. He kept the highest scoring team in the league, Portland, with only 1 goal in the MLS Cup. So you got to give him some props. Defender of the year, William Velasquez, Orlando City again. Kwambe from San Jose and Mabiala from Portland, also very good defender. So Orlando did it with defense this year, for sure. Most valuable player, Landon Donovan Award. Pedro Santos from Columbus, 32 years old, had 5 goals, 14 assists. I guess that's okay. Keschweider from San Jose also, 8 goals, 12 assists. Blanco, 7 goals, 12 assists. So pretty decent years for the player of the year. Best 11. We got 2 players on the best 11. How about this? Kyle Larin, of course, and Raheem Edwards for his fabulous final quarter of the season. He makes it onto the list with 7 goals, 11 assists. That's really good. Some really good stats for what is essentially a second, possibly even a third line forward for us. Just to come on and have such a great season, perform so well. Very happy about that. Coach of the year? No, Zebu Nation. Look at that, Diego Maradona. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. He's going to be able to hold that over our heads forever. Mark Dos Santos for LAFC, another Canadian. He definitely had a good season. There's no way around it. He brought this team back, done what Bob Bradley couldn't do. And then third place, Colin Clark from Portland. He also had an outstanding season. I mean, you can't forget the results that he had in the regular season. Highest scoring team in the league, lowest goals allowed in the league. That you don't do that by accident. That's good coaching. For sure. All right, comeback player of the year. Blanco, I guess he was out last year. I don't recall that. But good for him. Good for him. Goal of the year, Wagwe. Okay. Nobody from our list. I mean, they're not going to show us the goal, so it doesn't really matter. Golden Boot. Adi wins the Golden Boot. 26 goals. Dom Dwyer, 24. Andre Rios, 20. Guess Kyle Larin didn't make the list, unfortunately. Thought he was going to be up there, but I guess not. Newcomer of the year. There's Velasquez from Orlando, definitely. Joseph Mendez from Montreal. 16 appearances, 9 goals in 16 appearances. If he could have stayed healthy, he might have been up there for the Golden Boot Award. So it'll be interesting to see him if he can play more games this season. I mean, he did just get injured again in the World Club Championships. So we might have an injury problem with Mendez, and that will hamper us somewhat. And then Mosa Injai from Philadelphia, Norway. He came in third place, newcomer of the year. Good job. Rookie of the year, Chris Rod from Chicago, left midfielder, beat out our man Eric Lopez. 21 appearances, 3 assists, no goals, 6.99 rating. You can understand why he couldn't beat out a guy with a goal, 3 assists, a 7.05 rating. Only 11 appearances, though. It seems like he shouldn't qualify. But anyway, Todd Soto came in third place for Portland. We don't really know much about this guy. He's a central defender. No goals, no assists, 6.72 rating. So he's just sort of the other guy on the list. The MLS Works U.S. Foundation for Humanitarian of the Year goes to Giazzi Zardes. How do you get this? I don't know. Least fouls, possibly. Hector Villalba and Matt Hedges. A defender on this list is pretty good, because normally you'd think defenders would have all kinds of fouls and stuff. So I don't know how they choose this. Is this for charity work? No idea. Referee of the year, who cares? Team Fair Play. DC United wins the Fair Play Award for the 3rd time in a row. So DC, fair play to you, but you got to start winning some games. Play fair, but win some games. How about that? All right, so that's the awards for the season. Let's go down our own checklist and check some things out. Well, yeah, we had our intake. I haven't looked at the intake email yet. So let's see where that's at. Here it is. Impact Academy announced new intake of youth. Let's see. The following players have been promoted to our academy. Got every reason to be excited by Stefano Giasante. It's a potential to become one of the most gifted players. Of this youth intake, the following youngsters have come from our affiliate clubs. Okay, we can sign youngsters. Blah, blah, blah. So we've lost Ilias Ilmaz, Oliver Chevalier, and Benjamin Lambert. None of the 3 of them I didn't think were good enough to play for us. Lambert, nah, just not. They're just not good enough. We got enough players. We're going to let them go. So now let's take a look at the academy. See what we got. So we got a bunch of 16-year-olds here. Not a big intake. Not very big at all. There's Stefano Giasante, a goalkeeper. Interesting. 3.5 star. We could kind of use some goalkeepers. 14 handling, 14 reflexes, 13 jumping reach. Yeah, I'd take him 6'4". So he's just got to put his game together. He'll be okay. Other than that, not a lot happening. Maxime Argento, 16 years old. He's okay, I guess. Decent physicals, teamwork. So, again, our youth intakes are getting worse by the year. Xavier Aubrey. Not so good. So it's good that we signed all those players early because we're not going to get a lot out of these guys. Now we've got Benzaza coming up. He's 17 years old still, so he's got another couple years at the academy. We can leave him down there with his 18 passing and, hope he gets better. Maybe we could sign him and loan him out, but I don't know. Or sign him up and, honestly, I think we should sign him up. We should sign him and Valenzuela up. Because when you're under 18, I'm told, and the empirical evidence seems to back this up, that you improve through training. So we bring them up, train them with the first team. I think that's a good idea. I think we're going to do that. So Benzaza, we're going to approach to sign. We're going to sign this boy up. Reserve contract, 2 years. Let's go. Okay. And then likewise, Miguel Valenzuela. Now, I don't expect either of these boys to play, except in dire circumstances or when we're facing an inferior team. But we did improve our training facilities. So now we have great training facilities with the parent club. And that's better than the academy facilities, right? The academy facilities are training good. So they're going to get better training with us, and they might improve between the ages of 17 and 18. That's my hope. And then we can send them out on loan once they turn 18. That seems like a radical plan that might just work. Nobody else, I think, is really worth the trouble. Well, Marcus Daniels, possibly. He's got 2 stars already, so I don't think he's going to get any better than this in the academy. So let's sign him up. Well, we might not be able to keep all these boys. We might have to send them out on loan at some point. But I'll try to avoid that if possible. Garcia Seals move to Orlando City. That's fine. All right, finances. How are we doing finances? We got $14.5 million. So we made $2.3 million last year. Not a huge haul, but better than going in the negative. We just got our MLS payout. So we got $6 million this season that we've made. So we're sort of creeping up our finances. Like I said, we're interested in maybe getting a new stadium or improving our current stadium at some point, because we are starting to pack in the fans. At one point this season, we were able to get 76,000 in the Olympic Stadium. So, that was a special occasion for the World Club Championship, but still pretty good. Board. Wait. We got some other finances stuff. The league-specific finances. Obviously, league salary cap, still 4.25. Yeah, still 4.25. They might raise that. I don't know. I didn't get an email saying that they've raised it. I don't know if they raise it every year or every 2 years or how that goes, but they do continue to raise it throughout the seasons as you go along. We've got 2.2 in transfer funds. We got 875,000 in general allocation money. We got $1 million in targeted allocation money. So that is outstanding. We can definitely, overspend for some players if we want to. But I don't think we want to, because my thinking is that this isn't a Champions League year. As far as I know, we're not in the Champions League competitions. Club World Championship is still there. We got knocked out. So I don't think we need to go crazy and spend and bring in some big players. We just need, MLS quality players. So maybe we can just keep this money in the bank as a war chest for hopefully next year when we make the Champions League. We shall see. Okay, board. Job security is just secure. I'm not happy about this. 58%. The board was not as impressed as I would have liked them to be. Confidence. Club issues. Club stature, again, how can they be only 50%? Maybe it's just because they don't care about club stature. That could be the issue. We're the #1 team in North America. How about we give it up a little bit for that. Payroll budget, 50%. Job value has gone up a little bit, 13%. I think we're going to ask for a new contract this year. Our contract runs out in 2021, so that's this season, the end of this season. The one thing they're happy about is developing players using the youth system, and, that's for sure. I don't know why they wouldn't. Club-wise, here we go. You can see 3-star reputation. General. Junior Ramos has joined the favored personnel. We are not on the list. They don't like us at all for some reason. You'd think we'd be favored personnel at this point. We won the MLS Cup. But, the fans are a little bit picky. All right. News. Any news that we missed? Got a lot of signings. We'll look at those signings in a minute. New youth intake. MLS Super Draft coming up. We'll show that in the preseason spectacular for next season. So far, everything's going fine. All right, transfers. What have we done for transfers? Lots of stuff. Lots of interesting stuff. Transfer history. Let's go. So, in terms of people we've let go, Nasco, Munier, Lutweiler, Pantami has gone out on loan. We didn't let him go. Lutweiler got drafted. He went to Toronto FC. That could come back to bite us. Jackson Amel and Boxall were let go. Also, released players. There's players on this list that they didn't show. I don't know why. Who have been released or let go. Free transfers. Waived. Anyway. Did we trade anybody? Did we make any trades? We did make a couple of trades. We traded Gonzalo Jesus, one of our young up-and-coming strikers. We traded him to Atlanta United for a 1st and 4th round pick. We got a lot of young strikers. I figured if we can get any value for one of these guys, we'll take it. And then the big move, traded Lewis Taylor, our left back, to Chicago for $1 million. $500,000 in general, $500,000 in targeted allocation money. Taylor is only worth $925,000. He's limited in what he can do. I mean, he's a good, solid defensive player. But other than that, he's limited. He doesn't give us much of anything else. We ran into that frustration late in this last season. So I think we're going to look. This frees us up completely to look to upgrade our left fullback. So we're going to do that. And then finally, who have we brought in on transfers so far? We drafted a couple of guys. How about this? Picked up from Toronto in the draft. We picked up Brian Haynes, 19-year-old Canadian central defender. This kid's pretty good for 19 years old. 6'2", 13 strength, 15 jumping reach, 14 marking, 12 tackling, only 11 heading, but he can get better. Positioning, 13, teamwork, 15, determination, bravery, aggression. So he's got central defender skills where it counts, and he's got 4-star potential. So it's a free youth development player. Why not pick him up? We picked him up in the waiver draft. And then likewise, Jesus Ferreira, 20-year-old Colombian, valued at $1 million. Again, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. This guy's like getting a free super draft pick, basically. Decent speed, very good mental abilities for a 20-year-old. Decent technicals. He's got passing, got finishing, he's got crossing. So he's a guy he can play. He's a hybrid winger striker. We'll probably play him at winger more than anywhere else. If we play him at all, most likely he's going to get loaned out. But again, he's just a guy we're going to secure his rights. Maybe we can make some money off him if he never plays. Who knows? We got him for free. Why not? We needed a backup goalkeeper, so we went out. We got Alex Horvath. We know this guy. We played against this guy several times. He's a decent reserve keeper. Nothing wrong with Horvath. He's pretty inexpensive, only $100,000. He's on a backup contract. Great, fine, no problem. And then we made another interesting move. Just another guy we're going to try to cash in on probably. James Garner, free transfer, 19-year-old Englishman. Only valued at $275,000 right now, but again, he's 2-star ability, 3.5-star potential ability. He's a central midfield / defensive midfield / central defender. He's most likely a central defender. 14 strength, 13 jumping reach, 19 determination, 14 positioning, 13 tackling, 15 passing, which is crazy for a defensive midfielder or a defensive center back. Only 10 marking, 12 heading, 12 first touch. So he's got some really interesting skills, and he was one of those guys, came from Manchester United. How about this? He was out on loan last year for AFC Wimbledon. Played okay. 19 appearances, 6.74 rating. But he's one of those guys, if Manchester United's going to let him go, might as well take a look at him. And this is a guy our scouts had found. I didn't go out and search, how most people do. They go out and, well, not most people, but how some people do, go out and search to see who the big teams let go and then try to pick them up, which is a good idea. But we sent our scouts over there and they found this guy, so why not sign him up? He had no team, so we got him on a free, and again, it's free money. We got some trades and stuff in the works. We've got a bid out for Chukwudi Agor, 22 years old, defensive midfielder. Look at this guy. He's pretty good. Nice pace and acceleration. Not very good jumping reach or strength, but 16 technique, 15 tackling, 15 passing. He's the deep line playmaker I was talking about at the end of the season. We need somebody who can change things up at the defensive midfielder spot, and this guy can do that. He gives us great range with that pace that he's got, great skills with the passing ability, and 12 vision is pretty good. Decision making of 14. Only 22 years old, so we got a bid in for this guy. It's probably going to be successful, so this guy will probably be on the team pretty soon. There's our academy players. We got another 18-year-old we're looking at, left winger, Carlos Alberto. 18-year-old Brazilian from Germelo. Again, our bid for this guy is probably going to be successful. Great pace and acceleration, just good skills. 17 technique is really good. 16 work rate. He's got passing, he's got heading, first touch, crossing. So he's a little bit more of a wide winger than an inside forward like we've had on the left-hand side. So just another guy we could maybe make some money off of. We'll see. Although we're going to have to pay for this guy. We got $1 million bid out for him. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, that's kind of it for transfers. Competition schedule, medical center. We got a few injuries still lingering. Romero still has 4 months left on his recovery. Gomez, Shom, Mendez, Eric Lopez, Pujol. All these guys are still injured. Staff, we promoted a guy to chief data analyst. Promoted, is that him? Yeah. Massimo D'Aio, chief data analyst. It's fine. 13. I mean, he's not good actually. But he's the best we got. He's the best we could find. I put out ads for some of this stuff, and we couldn't get anything. Oh, we also promoted a guy to head of sports science. I put out ads and say, we got a position open, and the guys who apply for the ads are way worse than anybody we've got on the team right now. So we're just going to keep these guys and promote them. This guy's got 15 sports science, so might as well promote him. He's only 31 years old, but now we need a reserve sports scientist, or whatever they call him, assistant sports scientist guy. But other than that, everything is the same. We just re-signed everybody. So there you go. Dynamics, I guess we can look at that real quick. It's still good. Nothing much has changed. Hierarchy is still fine. Kyle Aaron is our team leader. Romero has dropped down a little bit to just highly influential. Maybe Andre will jump up there. But Mendez has dropped down because of his injury. We could use some more leaders on the team, especially since we just lost Taylor, who was an important figure in the locker room. All right, but that's about it. So we're going to get ready for the preseason spectacular. We're going to go through the MLS Super Draft and all that stuff. Preseason roster. No Champions League this season. So we'll just look at our friendlies and stuff like that, and we'll come back for that episode. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.